So how do you sell yourself in an interview? You may struggle with this because you don't like to brag, or you were raised to be humble. I see this a lot with folks from Asian backgrounds. But here in the US, you need to know how to sell yourself if you want to get a job in a highly competitive job market, or if you want to get a job at one of the top companies in your industry. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to sell yourself without sounding like you're bragging. So when people give you the advice to sell yourself in an interview, what they're really saying is that you need to be able to show them why you are the best candidate for that job. And to show them that you are the best candidate for the job, you're going to need to show them two things. The first is that you are the best fit for the role, and the second is that you have some really impressive accomplishments. So first, let's break down what it means to be the perfect fit. Well, every hiring manager knows exactly what they want in their candidate beyond just what's in the job description. Hiring managers have certain skills or industry experience or product expertise that they ideally want to have in their top candidate. They also need certain skills and know that some of the skills on the job description are just nice to have. And the only way to find this out is to actually ask the hiring manager directly. So before even answering the first interview question, like tell me about yourself, you're going to want to get some context on the role. So you can say something like, before I talk about my background, I'd like to get some additional context on the role so I can share only what's relevant in terms of my background and expertise so that you can make a fair assessment if I'm the right candidate for you. So is there anything beyond the job description that you're looking for? Perhaps like, what is the immediate project that someone would be working on? Or what is a skill set that's currently missing on your team? Now, of course, normally I don't recommend you answer a question with another question, but this is the only time in which it is acceptable. Because this is really the only way to figure out what is the perfect fit and what they actually want for this job. But what happens if they tell you things that you don't have in terms of your experience or your skills? Well, you're going to need to share transferable or similar experience and then show them how it's still relevant for that job. For example, let's say they want somebody who has worked in the automotive industry, and you could point out to them that even though you work in the CPG industry, it's still relevant because they have very similar supply chain operations. They also work in assembly lines and they have factories and distribution centers, and they also both operate with very thin profit margins. Now, that's how you can show them you are the perfect fit for the role, even if you don't have some of the skills or experiences or industry expertise that they want. But now let's talk about what it means to have impressive accomplishments. And I want to make sure you know the difference between an impressive accomplishment and just an average accomplishment. So here's a quick pop quiz. Imagine you worked in marketing. If you were to claim that your accomplishment is that you were able to increase revenue by 24%, is this truly an impressive accomplishment? No, because it's your job to increase revenue if you work in the marketing department. In fact, if you worked in marketing and you aren't able to increase revenue at all, then you'd probably be getting fired, right? Plus, every other candidate that you're going to be competing with when you're interviewing for a marketing role is also going to be claiming that they've increased revenue, right? So then how can you stand out if you're all claiming to have the same impact or the same result? So there are three different types of elements that you could have that would actually make your accomplishment impressive. The first is complexity. Complexity would basically mean that you were able to solve a highly complex problem or something that no one else has been able to solve before. The second way is if you show creativity, the creativity to solve a problem in a very innovative way. Or maybe you were even able to identify a problem at work that no one else even noticed before. And the third way is to have a scalable solution. So not just solving a problem or doing what you were told, but finding a solution that could actually scale up and help not just your team or not your product, but other teams, or maybe the whole product or the whole company. For example, maybe you came up with an innovative marketing campaign that increased your product's revenue by 24%, but then you realized that there's a similar customer demographic across multiple product lines at your company, and then you implemented that same marketing strategy or that same go-to-market plan across multiple segments, which ended up increasing the whole company's revenue by 33%. Alright, so if you put both of these two together, showing them that you are the perfect fit for the role and that you have actually impressive accomplishments that are different than every other candidate that they're talking to, this is how you can sell yourself for the job without coming across like you're bragging. And if you want more interview tips, you're going to want to watch this video right here, and you can check out my whole playlist that I also have on the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and don't be afraid to shake things up now that you know how to sell yourself in an interview and get more job offers.